Yeah, so it's been about 4 months. I had to change that from April Fool's Day, April 1st, 2023. Anyway, I'm back. Welcome to Total War for the Win. Again, it's Patrick. It's about 10:55 on Sunday, August 6th. October. Yeah, it's been about 4 months since I last streamed. There's been a lot going on, mostly summer events. I had a couple of mini vacations to see my sister graduate from Cal Poly's graduate school as a business analytics data science graduate student. We went up to Seattle to visit my newborn nephew, when he was about a month old in July. So I was busy with that. That was for about a week. It's good. We got to see Seattle in summer and see my brother and sister-in-law and their new baby, and he looks fine. Everything's good with him as far as I can tell. He just looks like a baby. Doesn't do a whole lot. He smiles a lot, and I guess he likes playing with his hands. His hands are moving a lot, but it's interesting. So I held him, and we kind of hung out and got to see a bit about that whole life. Yeah, he's actually younger than me, so he's in graduate school too, so he's doing a lot right now, my brother. Also working at Meta. So there's a lot going on there. I applied to graduate school. So I don't know if you know what this is. Georgia Tech College of Computing, online masters in computer science. Anyway, you can see that this is a completely online program. Let's see what it says about this. So I applied. There's a good chance I am going to get in terms of they have a 75% admission rate for graduate school. It's really cheap. If we look at this, it says, let's see, we're looking at spring 2024. But if you look here, it says approximate cost of the program. It's extremely cheap for graduate school, but computing, yes, see, this is when they kind of obfuscate the cost, but where is it? All right, because it's hard to tell because they do it on a by unit basis, and Bursar's office is like a different website. You see here bursar.georgiatech.edu instead of the program. So prospective students. Let's say it. So it's about 6,500 alumni. What's this say? 96% would recommend OMS, yes to others. 96% say it was worth the investment. It's about $6,500. So I don't know where it says that, but that's what it is. It's pretty cheap because it's all online. So it's cheaper too because you don't have to go in person and pay for room and board, and they can kind of inflate those depending on where the school is, because of how there's limited housing. So we ran into that a lot at USC, actually, where you wanted to live right near campus, but it's kind of not the greatest area. So if you want to live in housing that's all students, even though it's right there, there's a lot of like prime properties, and they can charge you higher prices for rent and stuff just because you have access to the school. You know, you kind of have to be there. Anyway, this way I don't have to move or figure out what's going on in Atlanta. So I have a good chance of getting in. That's kind of what I'm doing now because the tech people got fired, so there's a lot of layoffs in tech, and then they cut like the positions I was looking for at my experience level. So what else is going on? I went to a game night on Friday, so I'd advise looking at local meetups if you want to do that. It can be lots of fun. The people seem pretty open and friendly. Just start playing a game with you and kind of welcoming. So that was good because I know that in my house people don't play board games. I know that I wanted to play Monopoly or Risk or whatever, and then my parents would just say no, or my brother and sisters wouldn't play. So it's nice to be able to go out and do that once a week. Speaking of which, getting into gaming, I got Scythe Digital Edition. I've had this for a while, but this is essentially a board game on the computer. So I played through this because it was inspired by Friday night, the gaming club, board game club. So I got a bunch of stickers for this. But since I haven't had as much time, I've been doing some other games because it's kind of, I don't know about stressful, but I have to get all prepped for this kind of presentation. So I've been playing some other games to kind of beef up on my overall skills with like strategy and gaming. So I've done some of these lately, Crusader Kings and Europa Universalis Paradox games. There were too many achievements. You'd have to play like one game, and then it's like it could take hours to get an achievement in this game. And then they're really weird ones, so I don't expect to ever get all the achievements for pretty much any of these games. But anyway, so I haven't done the channel as much because I've been kind of tired and branching out and on vacation and applying to grad school and looking for work and all these things. So anyway, to get back into this, since I have a free weekend now, maybe next weekend I can stream again, but then I might be busy I know I'll be busy the weekend after. Anyway. It's weird because it's a Sunday stream and I don't usually do Sunday, but let's go into it. So since I haven't been playing as much, I've decided to just do a historical battle to just get kind of back into it, and that's a short kind of battle. It takes like 20 minutes or whatever. There's a time limit, like 40 minutes. It won't take more than 40 minutes to run through this one a few times. It's the Battle of Pydna. And there are some tricks, and I'll kind of point out what I did that didn't work before I got something that worked. It's like I said, it took a few tries. So let's go into that, and then maybe I'll go back to the campaign after I do a couple of historical battles to get my chops back up with this game. Right, so they did come out with, or they are coming out with, Total War Pharaoh. That'll come out in the next few months. October 2023 is the next 2 months. Just about. I'm not getting that because they'll add DLC and they'll rework it so that it's more polished and get rid of all the bugs and all that. And then I'm just sticking with Rome 2 right now. I actually uninstalled Attila. If you look here, I uninstalled it because it was just not working for me. I think it's the soundtrack. And then Napoleon, I was trying to get into because I liked Empire, but I'm like, I have to relearn everything with cannons and like how the cavalry is different and then the gunpowder units. So Pharaoh will be interesting because they add a lot of like environment effects, it sounded like. So a lot of like that you can set things on fire and then like block people with fire, or work with like different terrains more, like that sand is worse for heavy units because they can't balance on it or move on it as well. So then units could have more armor, but then they don't work as well in the sand. And then that there can be like different floods or storms during the game. During the actual battle, so that the weather changes. So it sounded like they had a lot of environment effects that they've been adding. I know this Warhammer 3, I would totally try Egypt before Warhammer 3 just because I like historical a little more and it's like not completely made up. Yeah, so it looks like they have the same Egypt units, or that they have modded it so they use the same models, but then they've upgraded them. Same thing with those guys. Middle Eastern archers, because the new game's gonna be all in the Middle East, so you can see like the kind of predecessors of the models here for some of the Middle Eastern units, I think. Because they polished them, and it's like, you know, they build on what they have, so they upgrade what they have and make it, you know, HD or change or whatever. Change it to improve it. They don't just start with like nothing and then start going usually. So alright, I've had enough of this. So we're going to do historical battles. They actually did an update and it wiped out all my stars for this, but I still have the achievement. Because what happened was, I guess you can't chat in multiplayer games now. It's a new one. The UK. Pydna. King Philip V's defeat at Cynocephalae left Macedon under de facto Roman control. Upon Philip's death in 179 BC, his son Perseus